Hello, friends. It has been feeling incredibly dissonant to share content as the evil man in power continues to run this country and face no consequences. Racism, bigotry, and ignorance are rampant right now. But I saw someone say that hope and joy are things we must never lose, especially in the face of what is happening, and that division is what really will conquer us all. So in honor of celebrating Black History Month this month and adding more joy, learning, inspiration, and beauty to your feeds, I want to share some of the people that I follow who constantly add beauty and wonder to what I'm scrolling. Many of you have already mentioned Alexis of Black Forager, but if you don't already follow her, I highly recommend it. I absolutely love her content. Chini of Not Your Mama's History has amazing outfits and, of course, amazing historical content. Serena of Serena makes the most beautiful wardrobe for herself, and I absolutely adore her. As well as Lauren of Enchanted Noir if you want some amazing, glamorous, and just all-around stunning outfit inspiration. Essence of Iridescence has such beautiful plus-size vintage outfits, and Dandy Wellington is one of the best creators to follow. He is the originator of the phrase vintage style, not vintage values. Sonia of Wicked Confections is someone I discovered a little more recently, but I've become really obsessed with all of her recipe sharing and her outfits. She is so incredibly beautiful. And right now she's sharing a series on lost Black American recipes, which I find really, really, really interesting. And honestly, I just want to eat every time I watch her content. I also really love Kojo of Dr. Kojo Sarfo for really funny, like, autistic ADHD meme type stuff. And Blair of Smarter in Seconds if you want to learn and learn quickly. I could go on and on, but all of these people have added so much to my feed, and I highly recommend that you go find them. Let me know if you've heard of and or follow any of these people, or if there's somebody that you think that I should follow or know about down below, because I am constantly looking to fill my feed with more joy, beauty, inspiration, food, you name it. I love it all. Hello, friends. Oh my gosh! There's a cat! What are you doing? Honey, what are you doing up there? Are you hiding? That completely derailed my train of thought, and I have to recalibrate. Our cats have this tendency to get themselves into like the weirdest, most unexpected places that you could ever imagine. And that is a new one. Hello, friends. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're all having a good day. I am really excited for this video because I feel like over the last few weeks, or maybe even months, I've been feeling a little bit lost. And I realized over the last few weeks that a big part of this is because I am not fully committing yet to the idea of being a full-time published author and everything that means. The pursuit of your lifelong dreams isn't so much just a magical, suddenly I'm doing it, here we are, I'm living my dream. It's truly like practicing every day, dedicating time every day. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes you don't want to, sometimes you have to drag yourself into the path that will lead you there. So over the last few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to truly pursue being a full-time author, and I have this very ADHD tendency to want to have my hand in a whole bunch of different pots and think that I can just do it all. But in reality, I've been compartmentalizing everything way too much. I want to dedicate this next year to doing everything I can to becoming a truly full-time published author. Some of you may have questions on whether that means my content is going to change, and to that I would say yes and no. I still want to share everything that I normally share, just with the addition of revolving a little bit more around my journey towards becoming a published author, because the more that I make my content kind of revolve around that, the easier it is to dedicate time to doing that, rather than filming content during the day and then desperately staying up way too late trying to get all of the writing done that I need to get done this year. So I am about to go dedicate about an hour of my time to writing, to figuring out what the next steps are. I have a plot to redo. So that's what we're going to do next. Ever since coming out with my debut novel, The Devil and the Midwife, last year, I have been debating what project I should spend the next portion of my time on to publish another book. I have been writing since I was very, very young. I started and finished my first novel when I was 16. It was a very, very long and epic historical romance, as you might imagine, because that is what I love. And ever since then, I have written several other novels that may never see the light of day, but I'm always working on a project. It took me a long time to settle on writing this Beauty and the Beast romantasy, which has been in my head since I was 16, and I have tried to write many, many times over the years, but never quite could nail it. And I'm really excited to say that I have finally ironed out all of the problems that I've been having, and I've found the focus of the novel outside of being a Beauty and the Beast retelling or inspired story, and I cannot wait to share this with all of you. This year, I will mainly be focusing on getting the first draft done and edited, and I'm hoping that I can publish it in 2027. But novels always take a little bit longer than I might expect, as you will discover in this video. Hello from my iPhone, which is balancing on top of my water bottle. So after my writing session the other day, I realized that I really need to sit down and revise my plot. I had written out a plot before I started writing the story for the umpteenth time, my most recent plotting session. Where I did not really think about whether or not I wanted this to be a dual point of view novel like my last one was, where you see both her point of view and his point of view. And as I was writing, it felt wrong. It just didn't feel like things were I felt like I was missing something. But it clicked that I hadn't actually plotted it to be a dual point of view novel. So I also am a very visual person. I learn the best by seeing things visually. I tend to make a lot of documents where I will write out everything that I need to know, but then it's kind of out of sight, out of mind because it's not right there reminding me. So I think I'm gonna try and make like a visual plotting board out of whatever I have at home and see if that helps me both write out the plot and all of the things that I already kind of know are going to happen, but with the addition of having it be dual point of view, but also just as a visual inspiration board. I think I really want to have like a good thing that I can hang right there over my desk where all I have to do is look up and be like, yes, this is what needs to happen. So that's what I'm gonna do. I hope you don't mind the iPhone shot, but yeah. Interestingly enough, there has been a trend on social media of living a more analog life, and I had already begun this before I realized that it is a going theme of this year. content creators are trying to do so much more offline, myself included, and I have been doing this for quite a while, trying to read more physical books, trying to read more books in general instead of scrolling on Instagram. I deleted my TikTok account recently and I have no regrets. But I have also been inspired by Haley Post. She was the first one that I came across to mention living a more offline life, and she subscribed to a bunch of physical magazines, which reminded me that I have been wanting to get physical magazines for so long. So I did the same, and then in the same vein realized that I would really love to have a physical representation of the novels that I work on through a piece of art that is also a useful vision board while I'm working on the novels. So that is what I hope this will become. It is my physical inspiration board that when the novel is done, I can keep as an art piece and a memento of all of the time that I spent working on it. It will also be really interesting to see what has changed once I am done writing, what has stayed the same. And honestly, I just think it's going to be a really cool piece of art. But while I was making it, I realized I had still not quite ironed out the issues I was having with the storyline. And so I did all of that after I finished this little portion. But that does mean that I didn't actually get to finish the entire vision board in this sitting. And if you want to see how it turns out, you're going to have to subscribe and stick with me and stay for the next video, because that is probably where I will be finishing the vision board. Alongside living a less digital and more physical life, one of the things that I've mentioned in my last few videos is that I want to make more and buy less this year. So come along with me on a few days before the beginning of this video when I decided to craft a few Valentine's Day decorations and Valentines that were inspired by some vintage ones and some cute designs I've seen on Pinterest. Because I have been focusing a lot more on making rather than buying over the last probably 6 months, I have acquired quite a bit of thrifted and new craft supplies. So I really did not have to get much of anything in order to create what I wanted to create. Spending time creating things with my hands is my overall goal this year. It really helps to center me and keep me from doom scrolling, as I mentioned before, and just to slow down and notice all of the little things and enjoy time listening to an audiobook or listening to some calming music, and really just ground me in what is happening in the present. I think especially right now, it is so easy to catastrophize and to imagine what horrible things might be happening in the future. And more than ever, it is so important to seek joy and creative expression and creating things with your hands, fighting against the unethical usage of AI, fighting against the temptation to just give in to doomscroll and be afraid and be sad and be all of the things that are very valid feelings to feel right now because our country is in such a state of unrest. But it's so important to hold on to hope and wonder and joy and beauty because these are the things that bring us together and overcome. I decided to paint some hearts in a vintage style with acrylics, and as you can see, they're all very rough and messy styles, but I love painting things like this. This is my favorite style of painting. And then I stuck them to some paper doilies I had from last year that are heart-shaped and added these little gems because these will be for my kids, and my girls absolutely love anything that is shiny and lacy and pink and pretty. The foxglove was definitely my favorite one that I painted, but I also tried to do a pansy, which I think turned out pretty cute. And I also painted some bluebells and some more foxgloves, and then a very rough approximation of some purple fireweed. It was such a calming experience to sit and listen to an audiobook and just paint. Anyway, I am so happy with the way that these turned out, and I can't wait to give them to my kids on Valentine's Day. I have a little bit of a confession to make, and that is that when I painted our living room last year, I did not finish this wall like I wanted to. Many of you may have noticed or may not have that one side of our living room is green and the other side is white, and it has been this white paint since we moved into the house 7 years ago. The wall has become dingy and scraped, and this is where we've had a lot of furniture knocking against the wall. And I have also been going through some executive dysfunction and functional freeze, which means that I've been staring at this project and avoiding it forever. A few days before I am putting this video out, I finally snapped out of the physical freeze and I decided to attack the living room and paint the wall. I did run out of paint and I will have to buy a sample size or a half gallon to finish the wall, but I at least got the spot where I wanted to put the TV done so that it feels a little more cohesive and it's so much fresher. I then decided that I was done with the ugly old beat up white couch that we've had for a while now. Someone gave it to us for free and I'm so incredibly thankful, but it was becoming very, very, very stained and gross, and everything got stuck under there. There was such a pile of mess under that couch. So I got rid of it and I ran to the thrift store and found a couple of cozy chairs so that this room could feel more open. I have been thinking about putting chairs in here instead of a secondary couch for such a long time because I want the room to feel more open, and I am so happy having chairs facing the fireplace so that the TV feels a little bit less centered in the room, and then the room just feels open to walk into. I know that my living room is not the influencer perfect living room that everyone is used to seeing, and I know that a lot of people do not think that my style of decor is very nice. I prefer to think of it as a hobbity living room. It is cozy, it is layered, it is welcoming, it feels lived in, and that's what I love about it. It might not be aesthetically perfect, and I may have run out of paint for the wall, and there are still a million things to do. But as I declutter, and I get rid of things, and I simplify, and I consistently push my home to be more functional and more what I've always imagined it to be, this was such a huge step in just making it feel right. I decided to pull out some of the decor from last year, as well as putting up the long paper garland at the hearth, which I made, and I think it just looks so cute. The theme for Valentine's Day is not as heavy as it might have been last year, but I'm okay with that. I am very slowly learning to simplify my life and my home and my expectations for myself to avoid burnout and to just breathe every day and remember that it's okay to live in the present and that it's important to seek simplicity and joy and the little things in life. This blue chair is so incredibly comfortable. We've immediately called it the grandma chair because it is the chair that everyone seems to remember their grandma having at some point. I then did the very much needed task of cleaning up this side table, which belonged to my grandma. It has been inundated with stickers and spills, and it is stained and not exactly in perfect condition, but that's okay. It has lived for a sturdy 70 years now, and it will live on for who knows how long at this point. I have almost gotten rid of these multiple times, but I'm always really glad that I decided to keep these side tables and make them work for us. They serve as the memory of the safety and warmth and comfort and welcome feeling that I always had going to my grandma's apartment. These side tables were there in her home as long as I could ever remember, and I have more of her furniture in my home, which I'm really glad that I have kept over the years. I wanted to end this video out by sharing some of the books that I am reading currently. I am reading Rings of Fate, which is absolutely fascinating and has kept me hooked. If you are a member, you know that this is the book that I have decided to focus on reading and sharing in my members this month for our book club. But all of the books on my side table are books that I hope to read this month. So if you want to join the membership at any level, you can join in with the book club and just join us in living a little bit more present, a little more analog, and hopefully a whole lot more joyful. That is it, my friends, for this video. I hope that you are all doing okay. I hope that if you are in Minnesota, you are safe. We continue to watch and not turn our eyes away from what is happening, but also seek joy and comfort and connection through everything that we do. As always, I hope that wherever you are feeling safe and loved, especially right now. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!